Boy was found dead in a washing machine.
This was after his parents reported him missing yesterday morning. Rochelle Turner live with what the boy's adoptive father told us late last night when he arrived home. Rochelle.
Good morning. Jermaine Thomas spoke briefly with us after he was questioned by authorities and dropped off at this home behind me by a Precinct 4 deputy constable. Now, he told us when he got to the home around midnight on Wednesday, the door was already unlocked. This is Troy Koehler's adoptive dad, Jermaine Thomas. He says he came home after work yesterday around midnight looking for his wife, and the door was already unlocked.
Just like I'm finna walk in the door right now. I don't have my keys, but I put my key in the door and then the door open. But anything else after that, I don't know.
Jermaine says Troy wasn't in the house, and around 5:30 that morning, the 7-year-old was reported missing. Deputies searched the neighborhood before they made the horrific discovery.
At that point, they found a deceased 7-year-old child in the washing machine in the garage.
Troy's mom and dad were questioned by authorities. No charges have been filed, but how did Troy end up in the washing machine? His condition and cause of death remain under investigation.
Just don't know how it happened.
The Department of Family and Protective Services confirmed the couple adopted Troy in 2019. He also attended Jenkins Elementary School, and Spring ISD says his death represents a great loss for our district, and we are providing ongoing counseling and grief services for students and staff members impacted by this tragedy. And so many questions surrounding this investigation. Today, we're hoping to learn a little bit more about what happened to little Troy.
Well, here's what the court documents say happened to little Troy. Mr. I don't know what happened after I opened that door. You know exactly what happened. This story is a very disturbing story. It's a story of a 7-year-old boy by the name of Troy Koehler. He was adopted by Jermaine and Tiffany Thomas, and back in July of 2022, he was found dead inside of a washing machine in their home. Tiffany is 35 years old, Jermaine is 42 years old, and the court document read that both parents had sent emails to each other. She sent emails to her husband about the little boy eating her oatmeal cream pie cakes. She was upset about that, and according to the court documents, she threatened to put the little boy in the oven and turn the oven on. He wrote in his email to his wife that they're going to have to hurry up and get the locks because she's going to come home one day and find him hanging from a tree because he ate his donut sticks. Yeah, this is how disturbing this case is. And according to the court documents, he's in jail on a $2 million bond, as he should be. And she's in jail on a $150,000 bond, but I think she's just as guilty as he is, allegedly. That's my opinion. The court document reads on July 28, Jermaine Kinman Thomas knowingly caused the death of TDK. And of course, they have to give initials because this is a juvenile. And it says the individual under 10 years old was submerged by the complainant, nose and mouth underwater. So Jermaine submerged this baby, 7 years old, underwater. The second thing it says is that the complainant, an individual under the age of 10 years old, he covered the mouth and nose with an unknown object. And it also says that TDK, the complainant, was also struck by Jermaine Thomas with a blunt object. Here goes the story. If this is not sick, I don't know what it is. I think people go out there and adopt these children because you get paid, pretty good substantial money of fostering these kids, taking these kids in. But a lot of people just do it for the money, not for the love of the child. And once they get their child in their home, they become selfish as hell. Like in this case, you got two individuals sharing emails over some food. Like, are you for real? Did y'all really kill this baby allegedly over some oatmeal cream pies and some donut sticks? Jermaine Thomas is up for the death penalty. Now, I'm not sure what they're going to give Tiffany Thomas, but they do say that he is charged with capital murder of the death of this 7-year-old child. And the sentence can be up to the death penalty. I hope they give you the death penalty. I do. Because this is ridiculous. Eye for an eye, death for death. And as for Tiffany, she needs to stay in jail for a long time. If not, give her the death penalty too. I think they both are guilty. That's just my opinion, allegedly. Here goes the rest of the story. Welcome to Straddled Events. On this channel, we bring you the truth. Sometimes the truth is quite ugly, unbearable, and you just don't want to deal with it. But on this channel, you're going to get it anyway. You are straddled the fence of good versus evil, right versus wrong. And on this channel, we're going to tell you to do better. Please like, dislike, subscribe, and share the videos. Now let's go.
The adoptive parents of a 7-year-old boy found dead in a washing machine in Spring are now behind bars, and that comes after months of investigating by police. Now, we know the details of this story are disturbing, but it does paint a picture of what investigators say this poor child had to endure.
Text messages reveal the parents spoke about killing their child for eating their snacks. CPS has been involved with the family twice, and it's one of a few cases we've recently reported where parents are accused of killing their children. ABC 13's Brooke Taylor live in Spring after trying to get some answers on this case. Brooke.
Eric and Mel, the documents here are even just hard to read. This 7-year-old boy, investigators say, was found with bruises all over, a bloody face and injuries to his face. They say he was suffocated, he was beaten, and even possibly drowned. 4 months after 7-year-old Troy was found dead in a washing machine, and his adoptive parents are now charged. Court records show disturbing texts between Jermaine and Tiffany Thomas. Investigators say Jermaine was upset their son ate his donut sticks and texted Tiffany, quote, "I need to get the locks. I'm going to end up killing him. They're going to come home and he's going to hang from the tree outside." In another text, investigators say Tiffany said their son admitted to eating her oatmeal cream pies because she threatened to put him in the stove and turn it on. In July, the parents reported Troy missing. Officers found the boy dead in a washing machine in their garage. Troy was a foster child who was adopted in 2019. CPS has investigated the family twice after concerns from his school. This doesn't surprise Mike Schneider, who specializes in CPS investigations.
We often find when children are injured, it's not the first time when it comes to light. There's often a history. Unfortunately, CPS has a lot of turnovers, and I think that affects their ability to follow through on a lot of these investigations. CPS has lost about 3,000 employees in the last year.
According to data from DFPS, Harris County caseworkers juggle a daily caseload of around 16 cases. There were more than 24,000 investigations in 2021. Statewide, CPS says they've had a 35% turnover rate.
It's easy for these cases to get lost or for a caseworker to not know enough about the past with this family because what's on paper or in their file electronically doesn't really reflect what the family's really like.
CPS didn't answer our questions about Troy's case and their history with the family, saying legally they can't until the investigation is closed.
They appear to be an agency that's just overwhelmed in general.
And when we get that fatality report from CPS. Once they're able to release it, we'll of course bring that to you so we can look into how this could have been avoided. Meanwhile, his adoptive father is charged with capital murder. He's behind bars tonight on a $2 million bond. The mother is charged with injury to a child by omission. Her bond set at $150,000 tonight. We're live in Spring. I'm Brooke Taylor, ABC 13.
Yeah, we're told mental health reasons kept Tiffany Thomas from today's probable cause hearing, but her husband, Jermaine Thomas, stood before the court as details about why he's charged with his son's murder were read.
The complainant died at the defendant's home, and his death was homicide due to homicidal violence.
Here in front of a judge, Jermaine Thomas stood for several minutes as disturbing details about old and new injuries inflicted upon his own 7-year-old son, Troy Koehler, were told to the court.
Scars all over his body, which are indicative of non-accidental inflicted trauma.
CPS confirms Jermaine and Tiffany Thomas adopted Troy in 2019, and court records show earlier this year, CPS conducted 2 investigations after school officials reported possible child abuse because Troy had black eyes and bruises. In July, officers were called to the family's home in Spring after the parents reported the 7-year-old missing. A deputy found Troy dead in the family's washing machine with a bump on his forehead, blood on his nose and mouth, and
multiple bruising, pattered scars all over the body, facial injuries.
Text messages between the parents about their own son were also read in court, including one that investigators say Mrs. Thomas wrote, saying Troy told the truth about eating her oatmeal cream pies.
Because she, quote, threatened to put him in the stove and turn it on.
And detectives say a message from Mr. Thomas about the 7-year-old eating his donut sticks.
I need to get the locks. I'm going to end up killing him. You're going to come home and he's going to be hanging from a tree outside, end quote.
One more message said to be from Troy's mom.
I'm so sick of this boy. Like, I'm really tired of him and don't want him in this house no more, end quote.
After months of investigating, Jermaine and Tiffany Thomas were arrested yesterday. Mr. Thomas is charged with capital murder. According to court records, the 7-year-old was likely hit, suffocated, and possibly even drowned. Now, Mrs. Thomas is charged with injury to a child and injury by omission. Her bond has been set at $150,000. Mr. Thomas's bond has been set at $2 million. Reporting live in downtown Houston, I'm Damalie Keith, Fox 26 News.
Attorneys for the adoptive mother of a child found dead inside a washing machine have asked a judge to reduce her bond from $150,000 to $10,000. For now, though, Tiffany Thomas will remain in custody. Prosecutors say she is getting mental health treatment in the jail, but attorneys want help from her private doctor. The DA's office has charged Thomas and her husband, Jermaine, alleging that the couple had deep hatred for their 7-year-old adopted son.